Hi, you guys. Welcome back. My name is Carrie Penny. I am the Happy Crafty Homemaker, and today we're going to be doing our final wrap up and review of the new Premier sock kit that was launched this spring 2025. So I did do an unboxing video. I will put it in an iCard as well as try to remember to link it in the description box down below. The giveaway is closed, obviously, but we did end up with a second gift. Premier did send a second kit. So I was able to gift two of you guys your own kit to give this a try. So this is a true kit. It includes everything except for the tapestry needle that you would need to knit or crochet a pair of socks. It includes two 50-gram skeins of your main color, 125-gram skein of your contrasting color. It includes a set of DPNs in a US size 2, a size B 2.25 millimeter crochet hook, locking stitch markers, and on the back of the package this comes in, you do have a QR code that will take you to a free sock pattern to knit or to crochet. So this truly is everything but the tapestry needle you need to jump into sock knitting. So the yarn is 50% merino wool, 25% rayon from bamboo, 25% nylon. I have knit socks in the same fiber breakdown as these before, and I have enjoyed wearing them. They do tend to, over the course of the day, be a slight bit looser than, say, like a 75-25 wool to nylon blend, but not, it's not like using cotton where you really need to drop that stitch count down significantly. I have a size 8 US women's size foot. I have a wide ball to my foot and a very narrow heel. I have knit probably around 100 pairs of socks over the years, so I will be making some interjecting commentary, and I would also like to refer you back to my approaching sock knitting video, which I will also try to remember to leave a separate link for down below. But socks are one of those things that a lot of us get very intimidated whether we are crocheting socks or knitting socks, because a lot of times this will be one of the first times we're working in these types of multi-directional projects. As I've said before, socks are definitely one of those things. Just it's like the old adage of eating an elephant, one bite at a time. Find a pattern that is well reviewed, that people like, and follow it line by line and trust the pattern and just slowly lead yourself in. First off, out of the gate, I would like to say that this sock pattern in particular, if you are knitting socks for the first time, it is a very good heel to help you understand sock construction without having to think in 100% new stitches. So this is a toe-up sock pattern. I did alter mine to my preferred method of magic loop 2 at a time on a circular needle instead of using the DPNs, because this is one of those know thyself moments. I would never have gotten a second sock if I tried doing these on DPNs. The DPNs are fantastic. I did test those out. They're smooth, they're easy to use. There is zero issue with the DPNs, but I am one of those people that suffers from single sock syndrome. If I do not do them in tandem or 2 at a time, I will not get that second sock done. So it's just a know yourself moment. You will probably be learning a new cast on. The method that they recommend in the pattern is a common cast on method for toe up socks. So there are tutorials all over the internet for it. There are also written directions with photos. So just pop it into Google that cast on method, and you will immediately know what you're facing, or I don't want to say up against, because that makes it once again sound scary. It's not, it's just new. Same thing with the cast off that is used, because you need a stretchy cast off here. So you don't end up with a sock that you can't get over your foot or over your calf muscle. You do, once again, it's Jenny's surprisingly stretchy bind off. It's something that is very common online. Pop it into the Google, find a tutorial that you're comfortable using from a tutorial person. you like. I do like very pink knits for a lot of technique videos when it comes to knitting. I did not do a crocheted sample with this, partially because I understood with my time constraints that I've had over the last few weeks, it would probably be another 3 weeks before this review would be up. I also personally don't prefer crocheted socks. This is personal preference. This has nothing to do, or it's not knocking crochet socks. I've crocheted many pairs of socks. I have worn many pairs of socks. I do really love like crochet lounge socks, bed socks. But when it comes to socks, I'm going to wear in my shoes and maybe end up, like going shopping and end up walking like 2.5 miles in shoes. I have tender feet when it comes to texture. I get very irritated by texture. Thank you, ADD hyperfocus. I will start cycling if something's irritating me. So I do prefer knit socks. I read through the pattern. The pattern seems to be equally as excellent to this pattern. If this is your first time knitting socks and you're using this kit or this pattern, it is an excellent entrance into sock knitting. It very easily explains what part of the sock you're working in and how to work each individual part. So you will probably learn that new cast on, like I said, video tutorials. If you do not understand the directions, you will increase your toe here. You will knit in the round for your foot. Then you begin your heel flap working in this direction. You will work this edge, and then you will pick up stitches and knit the leg of the stitch. It is very, very clear, each part of the sock, what you're doing, and you will end up exactly where you need to be if you follow the pattern one step at a time. The hardest part is actually once you're done with the heel, going to work with the main color. And that's, for me, was mostly because I did not follow my directions correctly. So I had to get creative because I messed up, not the directions. It wasn't a clarity issue. I just wasn't paying attention. So the pattern, as far as a beginner sock pattern goes, I'm giving this a 9 out of 10. It's an easy to understand pattern. It is easy to follow. And this particular heel, while I had never done this before, was an excellent beginner's heel. I wish I had had this heel to begin with. I believe this heel was chosen for design elements to give you kind of more of that manufactured sock look when it comes to the heel for the contrasting heel there, but it was very easy to follow and it was very easy to get a nice cup around my heel. It will also teach you how you want your socks to fit. I've said before, the first heel you knit on a pair of socks is probably not ever going to be your dream heel. As you knit more socks, try more heels, you will find the heel that fits your foot. Our feet come in multiple different shapes and sizes. We have different things with some people are very thick in their ankle to heel measurement. Some people, like I have very high arches. I do like to occasionally put ribbing in the bottom of my sock just so my sock stays tight to the arch of my foot. I am very narrow at this point of my heel, but very wide at this part of my foot. So all of these things are things that you will discover. So if this sock is not like your perfect, oh my God, dream sock, you will still have a 100% wearable sock, and you will learn a ton in how to get your perfect fit based on how these fit. So I would say this is a great starting off point for knitting your first pair of socks. The directions for the crochet sock also seem to be an excellent way to dip your toes into that type of crochet where you are creating a garment that's wearable, functional, and needs to fit a certain way to wear well and wear comfortably. So if you are an advanced crocheter wanting to crochet a pair of socks, try this pattern first, see how you feel about the fit. And if you also happen to be a beginner knitter that's wanting to learn how to knit socks, crocheting the sock first will teach you a lot about the parts of the socks and help you understand what these parts mean. So there's so many ways to approach this and come at this, especially if you do both crochet and knitting. Yeah. So I love the yarn. My one thing with this yarn is I would love to see this come in 100-gram skeins for the main color primarily. Mine is Purple People. That is the colorway that I used. And I do love the wild contrast of the just insanely bright green here. Most of these kits do have a really nice strong contrast, with the exception, I think, of Prep School, which is a little bit more tone on tone play. Uh, the yarn is beautiful to work with. It's incredibly soft. If you wanted to do a larger project with this yarn, it would be beautiful along the décolletage, no itching, no scratching. And it does have a nice drape to it. So if you were to make something like a shawl or a cowl or an ear warmer, or a hat, or a little, bandana to throw over your hair, all of these would be excellent projects with this yarn. So I really hope Premier launches this separately and maybe in 100-gram balls, not just the 50-gram balls. Beautiful colors, beautiful texture, nice to work on, nice slip on the needles. It worked well on their needles as well as on my Chow Goo needles. So I really love the yarn. I'm giving that a 10 out of 10 to work with. I really enjoyed that as a whole. As far as the kit goes, the fact that you do have the option to crochet or knit, and they provide the needles and hook, plus a set of locking markers, which are, who can ever have enough locking markers, truthfully? I use them constantly, especially in my crochet, but I do also use those a lot in knitting to mark my position in a pattern. I do wish, for the purpose of sock knitting, these were maybe a smaller gauge, maybe more like the light bulb markers instead of the big plastic safety pin markers. But that's just, once again, that's a me thing. That's a preference thing. Having had a ton of experience in knitting fine yarns and working in smaller gauges, but by using these markers, you do also make the kit more accessible to crocheters as well as knitters. So as far as like the planning for this kit to make this kit accessible to both stitch crafts, I do have to give this a 10 out of 10 for a kit. It's an excellent way to try something new in a confined way. It makes it less overwhelming to try a new craft. I've recommended this in the past as well for people who are wanting to try amigurumi. Find a pattern that you love that includes everything from safety eyes to stuffing, and you don't feel like you have to make a huge investment to try something new to see if you like it, even if you already know you enjoy the craft as a whole. Not all knitters, not all crocheters love all projects. Like, I'm not personally an amigurumi person. I would rather buy or be gifted my amigurumi. But I do love, like making garments. So it's a nice way to touch your toe into trying something new without overwhelming yourself and having to purchase a whole bunch of new supplies. This is a very well planned and thought out kit. As an advanced sock knitter and an advanced knitter in general, I love the fact that on the kit, you do have your QR code for the pattern. This is the kind of thing, for my purpose, I would throw in my luggage and just, have a project that I can work on, while sitting on a plane or waiting in an airport, or if I get delayed, or if I end up staying somewhere an extra day and finishing what I thought I was going to work on. This is something I would throw in my luggage and have on hand. Or if I were going on a trip, throw it in the back of the car. And, if I find myself with downtime unexpectedly, I could just grab this and work on it with the pattern right there. I could easily, you pull it up on my phone or a tablet and have the pattern with me as I travel. So this is, for me, I think also an excellent thing to have on hand as an experienced knitter for those situations. Kits for me are more situational as an advanced crocheter and knitter. But if you're wanting to try something new and a new technique, I think this is an excellent way to do it because everything is contained. You don't have to worry about, oh my God, do I need do I need to buy? there's no question about it. Everything is included in one basic packet. So for $25, these are $24.99 on the Premier site. I think this is an excellent combination to get you started on knitting, especially with the inclusion of the fact that there are free patterns to specifically go with this kit, to doing not just a sock, but a sock with contrasting heel, toe, and cuff, where you have further explanation of how to learn those techniques. So I consider this, once again, an excellent skill builder, regardless of if you're a crocheter or a knitter. So overall, I'm going to have to rate this, between a 9 and a 10. It's well planned. The project is an excellent project. It maybe isn't going to be your top tier perfect everything, but it's definitely going to give you that starting point to understanding and new knowledge. There's a lot of new things when you start garment knitting and crocheting, or in particularly doing socks, that you are going to learn through that process. And I think that's a very important thing if you are wanting to continue to advance your skills and continue to understand, basic things like how to correct mistakes, how to adjust things to your own personal preference. Sock knitting has taught me a ton over the years for how to make personal adjustments in knitting, which was a lot harder for me than crochet, partially because tinking back and knitting is far more laborious than frogging everything out in crochet and coming back to a new point to help. So I think if you're ready to make that step, this is an excellent place to start. And the yarn just makes it that much more lovely to work with. So I would not personally machine dry these. I would air dry, lay flat to dry your socks. They will rebound with that bamboo content. They will rebound better if you air dry them. Machine wash on cold. I use the delicate cycle, and I do put any of my hand knit items into a delicates bag as well, so they're not getting abraded and rubbed up against or creating further damage, just extra wear and tear damage that doesn't need to happen. So I would definitely, especially with the bamboo content, wash on cold on a delicate cycle. If you want to machine wash, if you want to hand wash, that's actually better. And definitely do not machine dry this yarn. The rayon will lose integrity and bounce, so you don't want to lose that bounce. So air dry, and that will help it to rebound into a better shape, a tighter fit every time. If you are worried about these wearing super loose, if you're kind of in between sizes, or where your fit is there. I used a 64 stitch sock. That is kind of my standard for a wide size 8 foot. I would go down to the smaller size if you are in between sizes. Most of your socks should have about 10% negative ease. So they fit tightly to your foot when you put them on, but they don't stretch over the course of the day while wearing them to the point that they're like sliding off your foot. So you want 10% negative ease. That's easier to obtain with crochet, honestly, toe up, than it is with knitting sometimes. But just a recommendation, especially with that bamboo content there, go down a size if you are between sizes. Don't go up a size and create a larger sock than what would necessarily fit your foot the best. So overall, I love the kit. I love the yarn. I would like to see it released in larger skeins for other projects. But have you guys tried this kit? What did you guys think about it? Have you tried the crochet pattern? Because I would really love, please comment down below if you have tried that crochet pattern in particular. I would love to know what your experience was. Did you find the fit to be a good fit? Did you like the shape of it? How did doing the contrasting heel for the crochet pattern maybe differ from any other experience you've had? Let us know in the comment section down below. By and large, my community does read the comments here. So the more information we can have out there in a spot, multiple different people's interpretations, expectations, I think it makes for a better informed consumer. Also, if you were designing this kit or changing this kit, how would you change it? What recommendations would you make to Premier to make their next sock kit maybe even a little bit better, a little bit more special, a little bit more wow? So, overall, what do you think? What were your expectations? I really like the way these turned out. They fit well. Not my perfect heel. It's a little loose for my personal preference, but after 100 socks, I do have my perfect heel. But everything else in this fits great. I like the height especially for a new knitter. I think this is a good height for socks. It gives you, once again, a metric to go by to decide what fits you most perfectly. So overall, like, I really hate to be like, oh, I just love it. It's perfect. But it is. And it's in its simplicity, it is a very good starting point for socks. So anyway, I love you guys. I hope you're having a wonderful, fantastic day. I know I'm a little bit energy down. I'm not feeling 100% today. I just woke up feeling kind of this morning, but I wanted to get this video out to let you guys know, as I know there's some like spring sales going on, and you might want to treat yourself for something for Easter, and there's just, I want to be helpful. I want to get information out there to you guys. So anyway, I love you. I look forward to seeing you real soon. If you are a regular subscriber, on Saturday, we will have our next video for the Understanding Fiber series. And I will be back next week, hopefully feeling much more 100% than I am right now. So I love you. Please take care of yourselves, and I look forward to seeing you real soon. Bye, guys.